Your body has forgotten how to rest. I know it sounds crazy. I know that this may seem like clickbait, but it's not. Let's talk about feeling something that many of us may be dealing with, and it's unsettling. But the truth is, we've been working so hard, we don't know how to rest. You finally get home, you sit down, it's quiet, and instead of peace, you feel anxiety, or you feel a tightness in your chest, buzzing in your body. You feel guilty about not being productive. You're hyper alert, listening for any threat or anything happening with anybody in the house, or something that you need to fix, something that you need to do. You're listening for the washing machine, that you forget that it's something cooking, it's something gonna buzz. This is the sympathetic system. This is a survival state. So you're on the gas pedal, but you're not going anywhere. This is a fight, flight, freeze response. And so what happens is your heart is racing, your muscles are tense, and you stop digesting your food, and all of your energy is diverted into saving your life because you think that you're running from lions, tigers, and bears. And then the parasympathetic system is the break. It's the healing system, the rest and digest. It's the state in which we connect to ourselves. This is where your body repairs itself. Your creativity flows, and you feel more open, you feel soft, and you feel present. For those of us with trauma, especially chronic developmental or relational trauma like narcissistic abuse, our gas pedal has been stuck to the floor for years, maybe our entire lives. The world was unsafe. The threat was constant. So our brilliant adaptive bodies made a survival decision. Never fully shut off the alarm. It's too dangerous. Now the problem, we left the battlefield, but our bodies never got that memo. So we live in a state of chronic sympathetic overload. We don't feel at ease because our physiology is still shouting danger. Even when our mind says you're safe on the couch, you're home. And this is why affirmations and logic alone fail. You can't think your way out of a brainstem response of reactivity. You have to signal safety in the language the body understands, the sensation, the rhythm, and the breath. This is the core of my work. Your somatic anchors are the vagus nerve reset, the heart wound breath, and the hip spiral, alongside of the somatic exorcism. They are precise mechanical overrides for a stuck alarm system. Also, when you hum or sigh on the exhale, you directly stimulate the vagus nerve, and this is the main cable of your parasympathetic system, manually pulling the brake. When you place a hand on your heart and womb space and breathe deeply, you are physically anchoring yourself in the present, sending a tidal wave of I am here, I am embodied, and it signals through the fascia web, disrupting the panic loop. When you move stagnant energy from your hips, you are literally shaking the trapped freeze response out of your tissues, telling your body the threat is over. You can move again. Now, I hope that you're here because you've been searching for ways to help with this. And if you spend 30 consecutive days doing this to retrain your body, you can have a significant amount of transformation. 30 days consistently of this gentle practice is a neurological initiation. The neuroplasticity, which is your brain's ability to rewire itself, requires repetition. Doing a practice once is like a whisper, but doing it for 30 days is a chant, and it carves a riverbed into your nervous system. It builds what we call somatic memory. Your body begins to remember the pathway to calmness, making it easier and faster to access. It is a foundational reset. It's not the final cure. It is the critical first chapter where you teach your body a new basic truth, which is safety is a possibility. And here's the way back to it. Now, how does this impact our ability to receive messages from the spirit realm, to receive the goddess codes that are being unlocked? Well, your nervous system is a spiritual antenna. And when you are in sympathetic survival mode, honey, your entire system is tuned to one frequency: threat. It's like trying to hear the delicate whisper of a goddess over the blaring siren of a fire alarm. The messages in your intuition, the synchronicities, that deep knowing, they're still being broadcast by your I Divine Self, by the archetypes of the goddesses, but you cannot receive them through the static of panic that is your nervous system. By using these somatic practices to regulate your nervous system, you are doing one of the most profound spiritual acts possible. You are clearing the channel. You are actually turning down the volume of the siren and amplifying the subtle signals. When you drop into your parasympathetic safety, you enter a state of receptive presence. This is the state in which Lilith's codes of sovereignty can actually be felt as a solid no in your body and not frantic thoughts. Kali's call to release physical tension. It is not just an idea, but it becomes something that you can feel. Isis' ability to reclaim energy becomes a magnetic pull that you feel inside of you. These goddess codes are not out there somewhere. They're locked within your own cellular wisdom. Trauma barred the doors shut. Somatic practice turns the key. The 30-day reset is a dedicated daily ritual of turning the key. You are not just healing your past, but you are turning your instrument to hear the future that is whispering your name and attempting to guide you to create a new timeline, a new reality. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I have tried everything, and I have hired people to coach me, to help me for the last 11 years, and I have not been able to get my nervous system to the place where it is now. I'm much more receptive. I'm much more present. I'm much more settled. And my nervous system now has become more of an anchor for me when challenges come up in life. So I don't live my life avoiding conflict anymore. Conflict avoidance can be a sign that your nervous system, it doesn't feel safe. You don't feel safe. And managing other people's emotions and their reactions to me is something that I'm not doing as much as I used to. It has gotten so much better. I'm not as rattled by people being disappointed in me or upset with me. Now, I'm somebody who went no contact with my biological family. And I love deep and I love hard. And the ability to do that required me to retrain my nervous system, to reprogram my subconscious mind, to learn how to enter into a state of parasympathetic, which is paradise. It is a place where you feel like things actually can change for you for the better. We lose hope when we're stuck with a nervous system that doesn't know how to trust rest. And as an indigenous woman on this planet, it's been programmed in us for many generations that the only way to be safe is to be constantly on go, to constantly be productive. The only way to be safe was for us to manage other people's emotional temperaments. So we became thermostats and we became sponges and we absorbed the emotional temperaments of situations and people and places around us without knowing how to release. I mean, do you wash your clothes? I'm pretty sure that you wash your clothes. I hope so. You know, sometimes the laundry go sit there and wait on me for a little while because I am doing my nervous system exercises every day. And sometimes I don't get to it. But typically, we feel better when we get a chance to wash our clothes and wear them clean. It's no different than your spiritual hygiene. You can't keep going the way that you've been going if you know your body is signaling to you that something is happening and it's requiring your attention. If any alarms are going off in your body, and the alarms are the symptoms, your body is letting you know that it's time for you to focus on your own healing. And I'm going to also let you know that when you really devote yourself to this, life will test you. People will try you. People will not understand why you are moving different, why you are behaving different, why you are showing up less for them. Because you're going to realize how much energy you have put into other people in their lives and how much you have abandoned your own needs. That's what this is about. So though I would love to tell you that there is one magic button, one podcast, one book that I've read, and I have read many, and I am always a student of life and continuing to learn. But you're not going to outrun a dysregulated nervous system. And there isn't anything in your life that's going to go the way that your heart maybe desires for it to go if you are not focused on the internal terrain. That's the key to true change. It's not the meditations alone. It's not the affirmations alone. It's not changing your diet alone. Those things are helpful. Those things are essential. But the most important piece for anyone who is on a journey of breaking cycles is somatic healing. Putting your body on a pedestal. Treating your body like the living altar that it is. And at one point, I was so committed to my spiritual journey that I was taking better care of my external altars in my house than I was my own body. And when the goddesses began to come to me in my dreams, and I've talked about this so much, but I'm not a believer in this because someone else said it and it sounded good. They come to me over and over again with dreams that I don't even think Steven Spielberg could make up. And I am naturally a skeptic. So I didn't believe that the wisdom that we can read about through mythology of some goddesses was actually an archetypal energy that allowed itself to be fragmented as the patriarchy took over and seeded that wisdom inside of our mitochondrial DNA. I didn't believe it. I studied Dan Winter. I studied Rupert Sheldrake. I read The Body Keeps the Score. I've studied so many different modalities, internal family systems. I hired a myofascial release specialist, and I'm on my second year of working with one of the best myofascial specialists there is. And I learned so much about myself. And I believe that even through this device, you can feel the calm within me. And you can feel the magnetism of what I'm talking about. And you cannot fake that. The new world is being shaped by energy. It's not the facade, the outside, and the aesthetic anymore. It's not going to bring us a yield of any harvest that's worth having. It is the amount of devotion that we invest into ourselves and our healing journey. And do you have someone in your life who may be wounded themselves? And they may or may not be as devoted to their healing journey. If that's the case, they're in your life so that you could see them as a mirror and realize that they are actually reflecting back to you how much you have not truly invested in your own healing journey. That's the hard truth. And I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass and tell you things that are not going to help you. I'm going to tell you the untamed truth, and this is what it is. So I'm going to be teaching more about the fascia, talking more about that, because for my spiritual girlies, for the ones who are paying attention to their bodies, for the ones who are noticing symptoms, whether it's just something as simple as cramps or a headache or a backache, that is a message. It means something. And we are not here to be like the generations before us who left here with such terrible amounts of suffering that they had to go through. They didn't have access to this information. But we do. So what are we going to do about it? Are we going to continue to allow generations after us to walk this same path that we had to walk? Or are we going to be the ones to say, I'm a cycle breaker, I'm a generational curse breaker, and I'm going to be a role model, and the legacy that I want to leave is that of someone who is truly committed to doing what it takes, walking it like they talk it, until they finally see it. We owe that to our daughters. We owe that to our sons. We owe that to ourselves. Let's not try to put it out there on anything else or anyone else. It is our responsibility to be accountable for that. And if you are concerned with navigating people and relationships as you go through these changes, and as you learn to have the courage and the confidence to trust that you invested in yourself like this, though it may ruffle feathers, though it may seem to upset some people, I was so afraid of that. And I have faced this publicly, teaching throughout the entire journey and being transparent about what I was going through. So I can't fake this. So if you're new here, welcome. But if you know that I have been sharing from a place of full transparency. And this is where the real transformation happens. So I'm going to put the links for my ebook, The Dark Goddess Guide to Ending Energetic Fuckery, in the description. I'm going to put the link to the coven in the description. I've had men request to join. It is for women only, but I do have something that I'm cooking for y'all too. And just know that when you get a product from me, whether it's digital or the coven, there is a very high level of accountability, and that's what's going to help you grow. I don't want to waste my time or yours. I want to sell people the opportunity for transformation and not a product for the sake of just being able to create a product. That's not what this is about. This is about you. You deserve this. So I'm going to see you in the next video, and I look forward to continuing to share this journey. So let me know, did anything stick out to you? Do you feel like this was the sign for you? Are you ready? Or are you just okay with being meh? That's your choice. And I have no judgment for it. But I don't want meh anything. I want the best of what's available for me. And that includes me being a better version of me. I didn't come here to play. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I want to show up, okay? I want to feel like that girl every day. And I want you to do the same. All right, y'all. Peace.